Duale has said government is committed in curbing illicit brew. Car racing lovers camp in Naivasha for WRC climax. Top leaders in government from Western urge to unite the region.
Good afternoon. It is Resurrection Sunday according to the Catholic calendar. Happy Easter holiday to you and your family. Welcome to TV47 News Now. Thank you so much for choosing us to keep you updated on events taking center stage today in the country and of course across our borders. My name is Anne Odida, and on to our top story this hour. Defense Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale has maintained that the government will intensify crackdown on illicit brew and drugs across the country, seeking to protect the young generation from drug abuse and consumption of poisonous alcohol. Speaking in Sambweni, Kwale County during the 4th annual Quran reciting competition, Duale asked the government in various parts of the country to work with law enforcement agencies to fight against those using illicit brew.
Mumesikia juzi tuko na serikali na rais na makamu wa rais ambao wanasema lazima tupigane na madawa ya kulevya na pombe haramu na shisha. Wale viongozi si viongozi wa Kiislamu, wale viongozi ni viongozi wa Kristo kwa upande ya dini, lakini yale wanasema ni yale ambayo dini yetu inasema. Na mimi nataka viongozi wa hapa Kwale wakishirikiana na wafanyakazi wa serikali, polisi, county commissioner, DCCs, hii mambo ya kupigana na madawa ya kulevya si mzaha. It's a government policy, kwa sababu hawa watoto wetu na hawa walisoma aya za Quran, hawa ndio viongozi na jamii ijayo.
Now, the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers have announced to down their tools tonight. Addressing the media from the union headquarters in Nairobi County, they have noted that the government has adamantly refused to comply with their demands, even after giving them a 7-day ultimatum. The officers were led by their national chairman, Peterson Washira. Let's listen in.
Clinical officers and the compliance of the previously issued demand letter for an agreement that we have signed with the ministry, all of which have been disregarded by the government. That our concerted effort, which includes the 21-day demand letter that we gave to the ministry and a subsequent reminder, the government failure to engage left us with no choice but to proceed with this strike. Again, that despite giving them 7 days strike notice, the government went mute, and hence it is now obvious that of the midnight to night service at 4,172 level 2, also 1,217 level 3, 3,376 level 4, and also 14 level 5 facility will be disrupted as all clinical officers clinical services come to a halt. The public is therefore advised to seek services from other providers and also to support our cause to bring the change we want in the health sector. We reiterate our commitment to ensuring the welfare of clinical officers and that of the poor Kenyans, and the provision of quality health services to all Kenyans. We urge the government to heed our demand and engage in genuine dialogue to avert.
Now, Machakos Governor Wavinya Ndeti has called for a compromise between doctors and the government over the current stalemate of doctor strike, having noted that many Kenyans have greatly suffered as a result of the strike. Addressing the media, Wavinya said it is critical for the two parties to embrace productive dialogue to end the suffering of patients seeking services in various public hospitals across the country.
Engagement and communication is important. I remember when I came in Machakos County, I had issues with my doctors on they had not been promoted for some time. We talked and we agreed, and I went and I gave them promotion. So what I can just request the national government and us is just to engage on talks, yeah, and let there be give and take. You know, it cannot just go one side. Let the national government negotiate also with the doctors, and give and take will also make us move forward. Yeah. So we need to stop this because our people are suffering. People are suffering, and it is just not fair while we can talk. Let us just talk and engage each other. Let it be a give and take between us, the government, and the health workers.
Still on the health sector, a section of Embu County health workers employed on contract under the Universal Healthcare Program 4 years ago now went the county and national governments to tell them what will happen to them when their contracts expire in May. The workers were first employed by the national government on a one-year contract during the outbreak of COVID-19, and the county government later extended their service with another 3-year contract that is soon ending. The national chair of the Kenya National Union of Nurses, Joseph Ngwasi, speaking at the Embu Level 5 hospital, said it was important that the two levels of government determine who will take responsibility for the workers once their contracts run out. The chair of the Embu branch of the Clinical Officers Union, Alois Njoka, said the workers who comprise of nurses, clinical officers and hospital record managers were a huge part of the health workforce in the county, and exiting this service would leave most health facilities without critical staff.
Wahudumu wa afya tulioandikwa kwa kandarasi ya UHC ambayo ni Universal Health Coverage wakati wa COVID-19. Tumeshughulikia serikali na tunafurahia pia, lakini wazo letu kubwa ni moja. Tulipatiwa contract ya 3 years with the national government, with the county government, na the public PSC enyewe ilisema tupatiwe contract 1 year. After serving for 3 good years under the national government, then the county government still gave us the 3 years contract, which is contrary to the PSC. Sasa tunauliza swali moja kwa county ya Embu. Kwa nini walitupatia the 3 years contract na ambapo tumeambiwa ni 1 year contract, na contract yetu ikiisha wanatupangia aje? Hilo ndio swali kuu.
Tunachojua ni kwamba hawa wahudumu wa afya wanalipwa kupitia serikali kuu. Kwa hivyo swali ile tuko nayo ni kwamba kwa sababu hii program ilikuwa chini ya serikali kuu na ni wao wamekuwa wakilipa hawa wahudumu wa afya, tungependa kujua gatuzi la Embu ile mpango gani kuhusu hawa wafanyikazi, kwa sababu ni wengi, wako 250, na ni kwamba hawa wakaweza kuacha kufanya kazi, tutafunga zahanati nyingi sana, tutafunga hospitali nyingi katika gatuzi letu la Embu.
Now, Naivasha for the last 3 days has played host to the World Rally Championship that is considered world toughest. During this event, hundreds of thousands of rally fans set to the lakeshore town of Happy Valley, Naivasha for this spectacular event. There are a myriad of flip sides affiliated to the event, and our reporter Willie Dennis Njiru is on location at the Hell's Gate National Park and paints the scenario as it is. Willie, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and live from Hell's Gate National Park in a predominant wildlife setting. We have already taken over, and it's a sea of humanity right here in Naivasha, where we are having stage 6, 7, and 8 of the last day of the WRC 2024. Remember, this is the third event taking place in Kenya and in Africa, one of its kind and regarded as one of its toughest. And later on this afternoon, we are also expecting the head of state, President William Ruto, to grace the closing ceremony and the award ceremony to whoever is going to take up the top 3 positions here in Naivasha. Indeed, before I interact with the locals here, there is a very famous word that has come from these rally drivers referred to as pesh-pesh. Talking about world toughest rally, the pesh-pesh is the loose chippings that the rally drivers had to endure, because you understand that when the first car passes and then a 10th car passes, we are going to have a loose chippings, and by the virtue of fact that this is a Rift Valley, of course we have had that. And behind me is so many fans whom I could just call on set here to tell us their names and what they are enjoying. Nieleze jina lako na ikiwa unafurahia siku ya leo.
Hamjambo, jina langu naitwa Steven Nganga from Eldoret. Leo nimefika Hell's Gate, nafurahi sana, watu ni wengi, mashabiki ni wengi, na tunafurahi sana kuwa hapa. Na tunasema asante kwa serikali kwa itufungulia zaidi.
Asante, wacha tusikie jina lako.
Naitwa Gideon Kores Kisotu from local community hapa. Nafurahi sana, nashukuru serikali. Tunafurahia sana na tunaenjoy.
Asante. Jina lako ndugu?
Kwa majina naitwa Onesmus Kiplagat, natoka Longonot na tunaenjoy sana. Na sherehe bakubwa. BAMBA.
Asante. Jina ndugu?
Maxwell Maina kutoka hapa Kayole, na next time mimi nitakuwa dereva hapa hivi pia nitawaunga.
Thank you. Ndugu, what is your name? Where do you come from?
All right, keep in mind that we will be bringing you up to date with everything that is happening right now in Naivasha in regards to the World Rally Safari Rally that is currently ongoing. Thank you so much, Willie Dennis. Now, moving on, the SEK Kitale Diocese has come out and urged the leaders in the region to preach peace and unity among themselves. Led by the area Bishop Emmanuel Chemengech, the church has reiterated on the importance of peace and coexistence among the leaders and Mwananchi. Speaking during Easter Mass in Kitale, Chemengech has pointed out the rift between the Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya and National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula, saying should not be witnessed.
Sasa kuna msukosuko kati ya gavana wetu pamoja na Speaker wa National Assembly Wetangula. Inaomba kwamba viongozi hao wawili waketi chini, waonyeshe kielelezo nzuri kwa kutatua mambo hayo, ili isiwe ni kitu ambacho kitaendelea kusorotesha hali ya uongozi. Haileti picha nzuri kwa hasa kwa vijana na wale watu ambao wanatarajia maadili mema kutoka katika viongozi wetu. Naomba kwamba both speaker na governor wetu waketi chini na waweze kusuluhisha mambo hayo, isilete msukosuko nyingi zaidi kwa ajili ya maendeleo ya watu wetu na pia kutogawanya watu kwa ajili ya sababu mbalimbali.
Now, government and non-governmental organizations have prioritized girl-child empowerment in Kenyan slums as a means of containing the growing number of teen pregnancies and early marriages. Speaking here in Nairobi, Water Heroes Academy, which is backed by Manchester City Club and Xylem, stated that educating young girls in slum settings will foster a positive learning environment for them and produce a generation of forward-thinking adults. Water Heroes Academy is an international network of youth-led initiatives that use football to address local water issues.
Stepped up to our mandates to contribute to the community. Some of the initiatives we've done is to work closely with some schools where we've been able to donate these kind of tanks, repairing their water systems and just ensuring that the kids can be able to access the basic sanitation that sometimes is lacking in this country.
Today's program is straightforward, or this week's program is straightforward. It's all about education and it's about understanding about sanitation as far as hand washing is concerned. and using this as a mechanism, because this is a behavior, right? We've just come out of COVID kind of environments. So making sure that our communities are kept clean, understanding the value of sanitation, what role does water play in those kind of contexts, and making sure that everybody understands those and that we can change the behaviors.
Still on that, religious leaders in Limuru constituency, Kiambu County, have raised concerns about the rising number of teen pregnancies, urging both national and county government to take action to prevent future generations from being ignored. Speaking in Limuru, James Moyanyos of Well of Hope Bethel Church stated that they support, feed and counsel young moms while they raise their kids, leaving them in the custody of their aging parents when they go out to find better opportunities elsewhere.
Hapa mashinani watu wengi wanahangaika, watoto wengi wana hata chakula cha kukula, wanawake wengi watoto wadogo miaka 18 miaka 15, unamkuta mtoto ambao kwa sababu hana chakula, hana malazi mema, unamkuta ya kwamba ameenda kutafuta kijana na ameingia kwa mambo ya mbaya, amepata mimba.
Aje atoe youth wao ama youth katika zile makanisa, tuletewe na serikali counselors ndio waweze kuaddress issues za marriage. Tunaweza furahia sana.
Uwezo mkuu sana wa kuweza kusaidia hawa watu. Lakini tuko na mpango kama tunaweza jenga kama shule, at least kama hao wenye hawana kazi ama hawana ile uwezo ndio waweze kupeleka watoto wao. Kama kanisa pia tuko na mpango mkuu kama wa kupea watu chakula. Lakini tungeomba serikali ishirikiane pamoja na kanisa la Holy Well of Bethel tuweze kuwapea chakula.
All right, we are taking our very fast short break right here at this point. Of course, so much more lined up for you on the other side of this break. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Let's continue with our coverage. Now, the unity of the Mulembe community will not be successful if the leaders who are currently in leadership do not take responsibility for the issues affecting the region. This is according to Evans Kekai, who is a political enthusiast in the region, who says that the current leaders, including Speaker Moses Wetangula and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, are taking a lot of time in fighting for the unity of the county. Kakai has asked the leaders to unite Luhya community and promote other leaders instead of fighting for their well-being while in leadership.
Hii inji venye tunaenda, tusiposhikana na tukuwe kitu kimoja, hakuna mahali tunaenda. Ndio tusonge mbele vizuri, ndio tufanye watu waanze kutupa heshima. Mimi nimetembea hii Kenya. Kuna uongozi, hatutaki kupiga kiongozi yoyote mwenye ako katika kiti. But ukweli usemekane. Kama saa hizi rais wa Kenya ako na miaka ngapi? Si ako na miaka karibu 58. Sasa akimaliza kiti yake, si atakuwa na miaka kama 60 kitu. Na sisi hapa tunaambiwa mtu mwenye ako miaka 70 ati pia atakuwa president mwaka wa 75, mwaka wa 2032. Hapo kweli tunasema ukweli kweli? Yaani kusema ukweli ati 2032 hapa tunadanganyana ati huko miaka 70 na utakuwa president wa 2032. Hii ni njia ya kufungia tu watu wengine. Tumewaambia sisi mahali tumepita, tunaambia watu wasidanganye sisi. Wao kama wako kwa viti ile wako saa hizi waenjoy hizo viti, na ikiisha wakati yao watoe hiyo nini mbele. Jamu itoke wapi? Mbele. Yaani sisi tunataka uongozi saa hizi wenye unajulikana. Tuko na viongozi mbele lakini wametuweka kama giza.
Now, the invasion of Jigger fleas, also known as Tunga penetrans, continues to cause great discomfort among many families in Vihiga County. Despite various scientific medicines being used to combat the fleas, Jiggers have continued disrupting the well-being of most children and even adults in the area, resulting in poor performance in schools. A reporter, Arnold Adidi, met victims of Jigger flea invasion, as well as a group of scientific researchers who are currently conducting a trial of herbal medicine, which aims at completely eradicating Jiggers in the area. Listen in.
This is Kapsiela village in Hamisi sub-county here in Vihiga. From a distance, the serenity here coupled with a green environment will signify peace and well-being. But as one draws closer, the situation is totally different. Hundreds of villagers here are suffering behind closed doors, some of them almost becoming immobile due to Jigger flea invasion. This village is one of the most affected areas in Hamisi sub-county, with more than 30 families infested. This 84-year-old woman is among the victims of the menace. Despite having partially recovered, it is clear that memories of the harm caused are still intact.
Dudu iliingia hapa. Ninaumisa nyumba yangu hata na wajukuu. Si kutembea, si kulala. Kama unaenda kwa mahika, unafanya kitu kwani? Unafanya ugali. Unasekenya inasekenya. Unawaja kupika ugali, unakuna. Ina mna gani? Kuliona tabu.
The problem did not spare her two grandchildren, barely aged 13 and 14. The situation has largely affected learning for most pupils here due to stigma among peers and the pain inflicted by the flea.
Kijikuna mwalimu anakuuliza kwa nini anajikuna mko. Unamwambia nini? Maana kimwambia na nakutoa na nakuambia ende nyumbani.
Despite scientists linking Jigger flea invasion to poor hygiene, locals here have a different explanation. Many associate the problem with curses or witchcraft, totally cutting off victims from the rest of the society.
Banafukuzwa. Banaambia rudi inapata mangine. Hata jirani sikuji hapa. Jirani banakopa. Banakaa huko.
I visited Gavudunye Secondary School in Hamisi sub-county. The principal here, Patrick Zavai, confirms that Jigger invasion has greatly impacted on the students' academic performance.
Wanazo lakini hawezi jitokeza aseme ninafunza. Pengine utaanza kuona tu pengine akianza kukosa kuja shuleni ama saa zile kiwango kimekuwa juu zaidi, ndio saa zile ameshindwa, ndio unajua hapa kuna shida kubwa.
Motivated by this situation, Professor Maurice Omolo, a researcher at Masinde Muliro University, is currently on a research mission to find indigenous medicines that will help in eradicating the flea.
Tuliweza kuangalia mimea mingi sana, zaidi ya mimea 30. Tuliweza kuvumbua hii formulation ambayo ninao kwenye hii chupa.
This research, which has been funded by the National Research Fund NRF, has led to the invention of an indigenous drug known as Jigger funza-free, which Professor Omolo terms to be more effective compared to what is already on the shelves. However, this drug is still under trial before being approved for public use.
It is very effective because on a single topical application within a week, funza wamekufa bila any interference. Wanakufa mule ndani, sasa watanguka tu. Hii dawa hata mayai yanauliwa.
According to the World Health Organization, extreme poverty drives behavior which puts people at the risk of infection. This includes living in a house with an unsealed earthen floor, which could play host to the fleas. WHO recommends regular washing of feet with soap and water, avoiding walking barefoot on dusty and sand surfaces, application of approved repellents, as well as maintaining general hygiene.
Hiyo vitu sitaji viruti. Kama viruti saa hii ndakufa. Kwa maana mimi ni mzee zaidi miaka yangu.
In Vihiga County, a total of 17,400 residents have been affected by jiggers, translating to 3% of the total population, with Hamisi Sub-County top on the list. Dr. Phil